Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Go Live today. It is Wednesday here in Medicine Hat, Alberta. And how many of you have used excuses a lot to get out of doing things that we maybe should be doing? So I have a few things that might help. I was listening to a podcast today of one of my favorite people here, and Mel Robbins, sorry. And yeah, so she gave me a few ideas of what all of us could be doing with our lives. For those of you who have not met me before, my name is Heather Edmondson, and I am coming at you live here from Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. I still have my scrubs on. I have just gotten home from work, and I just thought I would share with you a few tips that she gave me today when I was listening to her podcast. How many people say, oh, I can't do that. I'm not ready. I'm too busy. I'm not strong enough. I'm not pretty enough to go live on a video. The brain remembers when you have unfinished tasks and doesn't remember your accomplishments. So we have to get our brain thinking in a different way so that we can accomplish good things and wonderful things in our lives. Let's try putting our phone in another room before we go to bed at night, so that if the alarm goes on it and it'll wake you up, it'll be in a different room. I've talked about a few things like this before on some of my lives, so hopefully you can still find this information valuable. Do you ever write down your accomplishments or goals that you have to meet in the morning before you go to work, or before you start your day, or before you look at your phone, or before you interact with your family? That might be a thing that you might want to embrace in your life and maybe start doing. If you never start to do any changes in your life, you're never going to move forward in a different direction. Do you beat yourself up about not accomplishing the things on your tasks list? Are you beaten up with fear or anxiety? I have a lot of fear, and I have had a lot of fear about going live, doing these videos, or getting up in front of people and talking. I remember through school, through public school and through high school, that was just awful to have to get up and speak in front of people. I know that when our kids got married, two out of the three, when my husband got up there to speak about their lives and things that happened to them in their lives, I would start crying and I wouldn't be able to do it. And I was overthinking it in my head and going over and over and making myself super anxious about it. And maybe I just needed to take a moment, take a breath, and just jump into it, just like I'm doing today with you folks. And say, what the heck, if I mess up or I muck it up or whatever, it's just me. That's how I am, and move forward with it. Confidence in going live like that is not something that everyone is born with, or not something that I was born with. And it takes practice to press that go live button on here and do it, or get up in front of a bunch of people, whether it be when you're in school doing a project, or when you're at work and you have to get up and give a big presentation or whatever. It takes practice, and everybody, doesn't matter if you're talking in front of 2 people or 5 people or 5,000 people, you have to take that deep breath and take that step and walk out there on stage and just go for it. Just show people that you're strong, and if they don't like it, then that's their decision about you, and you just have to go with how you feel and show them that you are a bigger person and that you can get through it. Lacking confidence doesn't mean you are a bad person or anything like that. It doesn't. It sometimes is from anxiety, and it can lead to panic and fear, and it's a very hard thing to work through and get over. Hello, Paul. My husband has done a lot of public speaking, and even though he's done that, or he's got up and performed his guitar or sang in front of people, he still gets nervous and gets anxious, and sometimes even has to go to the bathroom and feels like he's going to throw up and stuff, and then it takes him time and he can get up on stage and perform. And you would never know that he was nervous. You could never hear it in his voice. You would never see unless he was holding a paper, you might see the paper shaking, as I've seen him before. So if you see me looking down or off to the side a little bit, I've just written a few notes. So I'm going from a few of those. You have to redirect your mind when you are up in front of people, or like I said, taking that step forward to like doing a live video like this, and get your mind thinking in a different way, and look at the positives of you speaking live as to the negatives of you speaking live. And that's one thing that'll activate your brain and get you thinking in a different direction. You have to interrupt those thoughts of being scared or anxious or nervous, and stop worrying about it. It's a big, huge thing. We worry way too much about everything, about moving away from home for the first time, or going to university, or starting a new job, or having a family. How are the kids going to be okay? Am I going to keep them alive for the day? Or are they going to get into an accident going out to play? Are they going to run away and something bad happened to them? Are you going to worry about your kid riding the bike for the first time, or walking to school for the first time on their own, or taking the bus for the first time on their own? I mean, there's many, many things that we go round and round about in our head, and all it is doing is stealing valuable time away from the good parts of our life, worrying about things that might never, ever happen. The what ifs. If you keep going over that what if, you're losing all those valuable minutes in your day. And we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So you want to spend those wisely so we can get all of those things accomplished that we have on our to-do list, or on our things that we plan to get done in the future. Your mind is a powerful thing, and it will drift into thoughts that are out of your control. Like I said, when you're worrying about your kids and all these what ifs about what could happen and what might happen, and what if this and what if that, and you just have to, like I said, redirect your brain to a happy thought, whatever that happy thought is for you. Maybe it's holding a puppy, maybe it's holding a brand new baby, maybe it's going on that beautiful holiday, or floating in the ocean, sitting on a beach, anything like that. Get your mind thinking in a different direction. I know it's very, very hard to switch our thoughts to a positive, happy event when your mind might be drifting to an unhappy or an uncomfortable event, or a thing happening in your life. It will make you suffer for the whole rest of the day having these negative thoughts, and it steals, like I said, it steals your valuable time. We have to look at what's the best thing that might happen in that day if we weren't to have those negative thoughts, and maybe just take a mental stress break. Maybe before you have to get up in front of people, or before you have to go live on a video, take a couple deep breaths, have a drink of water, have a sip of tea, walk away from the computer for a minute, walk away from where you have to go out and speak in front of people, or maybe go up and speak and practice a few times in front of wherever it is that you have to speak. Like I said, take a mental break, clear your mind. Like when you're driving here in Canada, open the windows maybe a bit, even when it's cold, take a few breaths of fresh air, and that can maybe get those thoughts out of your mind. The worry can creep in without warning. Like, you have no warning when this is going to happen. You can end up in a really dark place, and it will rob you of those moments of pure joy. When your mind takes you to a negative or dark or doubtful or worry, you don't necessarily have to go with your mind on that journey. You can, like I said, turn it off and turn it the other direction. Like Mel Robbins says, that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and change your mind to a positive thought, whatever it is. Maybe it's sitting having a nice cup of coffee. Maybe it's chatting with your girlfriend instead of thinking that there's a whole bunch of people watching you here on this live video. You could be just chatting with your friend, a coworker, or whoever, your spouse or your companion. You can't change whatever your mind jumps to in those 5 seconds, you can also change it back. I said, like by counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and changing it to that positive thought. And I will end up here with just a few things. You need to push yourself every day. You need to be gracious and grateful for all the blessings in your life. Tell yourself this daily, in the morning when you get up, when you're writing your positive thoughts down, before you interact with any social media, before you maybe interact with your family, and tell yourself again that you're worth it, and gracious and grateful at bedtime before you go to bed. By doing these, you're creating the dopamine release in your brain and giving you the wonderful endorphins, and you'll feel so much better. So there's a few tips for today. And this is my test video that I'll share on my Go Live with the 14-day challenge that's coming up here starting next week. And I hope to see you all there. Good luck to everyone. And I'm going to sign off here. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.